software on the thing. Okay, again, where was this? Make sure, again, the last name and page number are not here. And make sure you don't add extra space for the paragraphs. Where do I do that? It's here, underneath line spacing options right there. In Windows, it's under the option that says paragraph. There's an option that says paragraph. In Windows, there's a box right here. It says paragraph. On this Mac version of Word, it's in a different spot. Why did they make it different between Mac and Windows? I don't have an answer to that. Call Microsoft. I don't know. Why they make it different, I don't know. But here, see where it says line spacing options right there? You'll see right here, it says don't add extra space between paragraph styles. And what else did we want? Oh, we wanted the no thing on the first page. That is not there. My mistake. But this one you should check though. This one right here. See this one? Check it. Check this one. Don't add extra space between paragraphs of the same style. Make sure that's checked. What I wanted to say though is underneath the page numbering. Remember the numbering for this? Which is underneath insert. And we're using page numbering here. And I think it's here, right? Oh, here it is. Show number on first page. You don't want the number on the first page. Yeah. That's where you turn it off. I don't know why. Usually they say don't turn it off. I don't know. Let me see. Format. I did that in a different one, didn't I? In a different video where I showed you how to make that, right? Yeah. Okay. So somewhere there, don't have it there. The other thing to keep in mind is make sure it's 1-inch margins, right? The line spacing is what? 2, 2.0, or double. What do I write? Well, read some of the sample papers here that you write about how you would use a computer. Maybe I need a computer to plug my cell phone into, right? I don't know. You write about how you would use the system. That's what you need to write about. And you know, do you need a computer with an HDMI cable so you can connect it to a bigger monitor or something like that? That's what this person wrote about. Then you make your needs assessment, right? I showed you how to do it. You can add colors if you want. Then you have your system requirements. Then you have your comparison. Remember, this student didn't include their price. You should include the price. That's why you wrote this student was missing the final total price. How can you compare without the price, right? What's that? For the comparison, tax is not important. But for the final one, remember, this is pretty weak. This one isn't very good either. I want you to include, what software. You just put down software, $200. That doesn't tell me nothing. What software? You should have some detail in here, and include there. So this student, whoever made this one, didn't, kind of was missing some requirements. Okay. So you do have 2 sample papers that you can look at right here. I would follow that format. So you copy some of them. You can copy the whole thing. Yeah. So what would you grade that paper that you just showed us? Oh, anything you did wrong, I take off 5 points. So if you did the wrong margins, line spacing. This would be probably B. If you're missing, probably the final table isn't very good. I'd say 5 points to that, and then the price. 90%, 85, somewhere around there. Okay. Very cool. Ready to move on? You think you can do this paper? Yes? This is under lesson 3. Okay? Lesson 3, yes. How many pages is it supposed to be again? How many pages do you want? Good answer. There you go. Remember, you need 4 tables, though, right?
Yes.
4 tables. 4 tables. So first 4. Needs assessment, system requirements. table in your final one. 4. No lines in the final. Okay, you guys ready for, you want to do the quiz review for now? Let's do a quiz review for now, and then we will, and then we're going to get into Word and everything we wanted to learn about Word that we never learned yet. Okay, we'll do that discussion, and then from there we'll probably go home. So it'll take us all the way to the end of the class for that. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hide the screen for now. Okay. Okay, so let's, this is where, oh, again, if you want to see the sample papers, they're underneath info for major paper due by September 30th. See it right here? Okay, there's some sample papers under there. Okay, we're in week 5 already. Woo, time's flying by so fast, I don't even know what, you know. So some of those videos we watched last class were under here, final paper info. We'll go over some of that. I don't know if we'll get to all of that today, so maybe we do got a couple more videos to talk about and so on. We didn't get through everything last class, but let's move on to Word today. The other thing to keep in mind also is that you do have a maker's discussion here. Let's quickly review that. In your chapter 3 and 4, they talk a little bit about these tech hubs and maker spaces and things like that. So, you know, you should read about that, and they talk about, you know, digital tools and how we digital tools. So your questions are, can you list and tell us about a small business in your area doing something new or different? Okay, that's it. So read the chapter, talks a little bit about, you know, how the makers in the maker spaces are, you know, inspiring small businesses. So think of a business in your area that, you know, that's doing something different. Okay, it can be food if you really want to, but think about maybe somebody making something or a service that's a little bit different. Maybe you get the DoorDash. Me, write about that. Hey, that's kind of different, right? I get my McDonald's delivered to my house without having to go there, even though I haven't eaten McDonald's since 2003. I don't know. You just write about some company. You never made anything in your life? I'm sure you. Well, there you go. You made food. Yes, you can write. Yes. I don't know. So think about that. You can figure that out. Okay, where was I at? Oh, let's go back. So there is a maker's discussion. You do that. Oh, there's the quiz. Internet marketing info. I'm going to teach a class that starts next week. Or 2 weeks. This is like October 3rd, I believe it starts. If you want, it's a marketing class. If you're a business major, I teach a lot about how to do internet marketing. It's only 1 unit. If you watch this video, it'll show you a little bit about what we do. It's all online. Oh no, there is one Saturday. You come on one Saturday. One Saturday. That's not bad. One Saturday.
Well, that's it. The whole semester.
Well, no, it's online class when you come, but you come one Saturday in the middle of the online. So it's online for 5 weeks, and you come usually on the 2nd or 3rd Saturday. And it's 1 unit only. It's good for, it's called DMIS 25B. Yes?
How many hours for the Saturday?
Oh, the Saturday is from 9 to 3. But we have lunch. What?
Here at West Valley, right?
Here at West Valley. But you'll learn a lot about how Google works. You learn a lot about how marketing is done. Do you ever think about how those feeds get into your Facebook feed or your YouTube feed and stuff? Right here, you know, how does that all this work, right? It works by using the Open Graph protocol. So the class will teach you a lot of technology and how those companies use technology and stuff. Watch the video if you want to learn more about it, but this is the kind of things that I cover in the class. If you want to be a marketing person, that is a class I think you should take. DMIG 25B. It says mobile marketing, but it's also social media marketing. What the name should be. Okay. So there's some info there. I kind of posted it there because I was thinking about it. So there, and then we did watch the funny video already, and then you turn in your final paper on September 30th at midnight. Okay, don't try and turn it in at midnight. Most people do. I tried to submit it, but I wouldn't let me submit because I don't know. Maybe other people are all trying to submit at the same time, and it didn't work. You're overloading at 11:55. No, you wouldn't believe. I have pictures. I've had students send me screen grabs. Look, I'm trying to upload and it won't let me at 11:55. I'm like, somebody else maybe. I don't know. You know, don't wait till the last minute is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's get into Word again. We're going to talk Word. Here we go, Word. I'm going to just use a blank Word document for right now. Again, I'm just going to talk about some of the tools and features that we have not covered yet so far, like spell checking, hyperlinks, and things like that. Now, what is a hyperlink? Well, it's where you put a link into your thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Let's get started. So first thing I wanted to point out is that Word has been very fickle, if that's a word, fickle, and it means it's complicated. How about that? Okay. And one of the downfalls is making different size paper that I have found. And I don't know if they've changed this or not. They might have changed it in a newer version. But in order for you to make a different size document, okay, so let's start again. So if I go under File, New, you'll notice it just makes a new document. Let me close that. Let me start again. File, New Document. It just makes a new document. Why is it not giving me the option? But, you know, how do I change the paper size, right? I was very confused on that because I really wanted to do tabloid. If you haven't heard the word tabloid before, it's usually referring to the paper size of being 11 by 17. It's a popular kind of larger format piece of paper. I want to make a tabloid document. How do I do that? And one of the downfalls of Word doing that is that it would only let you choose paper size that related to the printer that you had connected to your computer. So if you had a printer that was connected to your computer that didn't do tabloid, it wouldn't give you the option for tabloid. And I was like, why would they do something like that? Didn't make any sense to me. Now, I don't know if they've changed that, but that was the fickle part is what I'm trying to tell you is that, you know, it was complicated. So now I have to try to remember how I fixed that. Was it under layout? Where's size? Yeah, where's this? Oh, here's size. Oh, there we go. But these wouldn't show up unless the printer let them, right? Unless I had the driver or it wouldn't, see, look, some of these aren't showing up, right? Some of them are not showing up. And I'm like, why wouldn't it let me do that? And I had to install the printer driver for a printer that would allow me to do bigger paper. So if you ever run into that problem, that's how I learned to fix it. Now, I don't know if they fixed that or not. There's not even a printer in this room, so I guess, I don't know. But that was the issue that I had, was it wouldn't let me choose a paper that didn't have a printer attached. Like if you want to do a crazy size, let's say I want to do 18 by 20, 12 or something. How would I do that? So it was very frustrating to me that I couldn't choose or make my own size. I'm used to using, and I even looked it up. That's what I said. I had to go and look up because I couldn't do it. I went and looked it up, and that's what I found was that I had to have so I can do 11 by 17 right there, but it took me a while to figure that out. Okay, next, of course, you should know that you can change the margins, of course. We were just, and that was under what? Layout, margins here. The other thing is that you can have mirrored paper where you have two pages next to each other, hence the word mirrored there. You can also do custom margins where you can type in your own margins as well. The other thing is you can change the paper orientation. I'm going to go back to size. I'm going to go back to my normal US. You can have two next to each other, yes. So, yes. So you would have two pages next to each other as you're working. Orientation, again, you can have landscape, which goes horizontal, or portrait, which goes vertical. Size, you have columns, which we didn't cover. Columns is where you want to have columns in there. Like, think of a newspaper, right? You got 2 columns of text, or 3 columns of text in a newspaper. Columns is here. You can choose them if you want. You can make your own columns if you want. If you say that, you'll notice that in here, You'll get in the rulers at the top. If you don't see the rulers, it's underneath the view ruler somewhere, I guess. View ruler, there it is. Again, you can see the columns. You can adjust the columns by putting your cursor up here at the top. This is a common size for a column, would be a 1/2-inch column in the middle there. Sometimes this is referred to as the gutter. Gutter, like in your house, right? You have a downspout where the water runs down, right? The gutter, and then downspout, that's kind of the gutter. This is some word. But if you type, you'll see I do have columns now. See how it ends there? The other thing to keep in mind is that the text can wrap from one column to the other. When it reaches the bottom, of course, it'll then automatically go up to this one. So that was under columns right here. Breaks is where you can have a page break. This will allow you to adjust how things flow from one page to the other, and so that you can evenly space things. That would be nice if we could have gone over that a little bit better. I just don't have content right now. Let me delete some of this anyways. Let me get some real text so that we can do some spell checking. Let me go steal some real text. I'm going to get some real text here. And of course, we love Wikipedia. Everything there is true. Everything on Wikipedia is true. Believe it all. Flowers. Okay, so I'm going to get some text. Let me put some text in there. We were doing flowers earlier, weren't we? And I remember the paste special, paste. Okay, so as you can see, as I'm writing along, you'll notice that some of the text has little red lines underneath there. Okay, the red lines mean it doesn't know what that word is. And let me put my name in there a couple times. Of course, my name comes up as red as well. Most people's names are in there. But let's say you're writing a paper and you're using a name of a person and it keeps coming up like that, and you want to do spell checking. Of course, the spell checker is going to keep going and saying this word's wrong, this word's wrong. So there is ways to adjust that, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So again, there's some words like this, selfing, or this word right here, I don't even know what that means, but there's certain words. So let's look at the spell checker for a moment so that we can refer to it. If I can find the spell checker here. Under reference, probably. No, where's spell checker at? Anybody know? No, I didn't want that. I know it's here somewhere. No spell checker? Well, it's under tools, I know that. Let's just go there. I don't know where it's in the ribbon there, but let's not worry about that. So if we go under tools, you'll notice the first option there is called spell checker. So before you turn in your paper, you should do your spell checking. To do your spell checking, if you go under tools, you'll notice there's one that says spelling and grammar. If you choose that, it gives you a pop-up window. Again, in the pop-up window, the first thing it's going to ask you to do is it's going to say, hey, flowers contain whatever, and Raskoff, what is that? Again, it's red. So if you got options here, you could say either change, which it's giving you suggestions down here. Right here, raccoon maybe. We want to change it to raccoon instead of my name. I don't know. You could change that one word, or if you hit change all, it's going to change my name from Raskoff to raccoon through the whole document, right? Change all. Or if you say ignore once, it'll ignore it, but of course it's going to come to another Raskoff and it'll see that and it'll say, hey, you'll do that again. Or if you say ignore all, what will happen is it will ignore them. Notice how they don't have red lines underneath them anymore. The other thing you can do, and I don't know why it's not showing me, but you can add it to the dictionary as well, which means you add that word to your version of Word so that every time you're using that word, it doesn't keep coming up with an error message. There used to be an option for that. I don't know, maybe it's under options here. But there used to be a way to add to dictionary. Yeah, here it is. Dictionary, add custom dictionary. So you can put words in there, like let's say your name, because it's your version of Word. You write your name a lot. You can put your name in the dictionary, and then it won't keep coming up. Hey, that's misspelled. That's misspelled. Again, it's under options here. It looks like dictionary right now. I've done that before. This version is a little bit different than the older one. What's that?
Go back to the previous page. Start the add on top. That makes it more wrong.
Maybe that's the one you added to the dictionary. Maybe that's it. Very good. Thank you. So maybe it was there. Add. Very good. What else? Selling? No, selfing. Selfing? Isn't that something that you take a picture of yourself, right? Selfing? Oh, that's a selfie. Oh, okay. So again, you get the idea of what all these do, right? I guess this adds to dictionary. Ignore all. There you go. Perfectly spelled there. Okay, let's talk about the thesaurus too, right? There is a thesaurus. If you know what a thesaurus is, especially when you're writing a paper and you keep using the same words over and over again and your teacher's getting bored of reading the same words over and over again, you can mix it up and add another word in there, right? We call that thesaurus. So what would be a different word for, let's say, individuals? No. Different. How about the word different? So you can highlight a word like that and go to the thesaurus. The thesaurus is the second one underneath that list under tools. See it there? It's the second one under tools. If you click on that, it's going to come up with words that are similar, right? So similar to different would be diverse, unlike, unalike, changed, altered. And then, of course, they got adjectives and so on. So, again, the thesaurus is there. Several might be a good one for this one, right? So you just click on it, and it should put it in. No, didn't put it in. How do I put it in? This one, you think? No. Now I got some in there. How do I get several in there? Several? No. Drag it in? No. I don't know how to get it in there. But you get the idea of what the thesaurus is, right? It'll give you similar things. Okay, that was the second one. And then let's talk about, where are we at? Hyphenation is the third one under there. So try not to do justified text in your, and try not to use hyphenation if you can in your papers in the MLA. I don't really know, what are the requirements for hyphenation. But if you know what hyphenation is, that's where you have, it has the little line if the word is too big for the line spacing, and it puts the hyphenation in there, and you can manually deal with it if you want, and so on. I tend not to use hyphenation. I don't really know how to change that. And then the other one, of course, is try not to use justified. What is justified text? Justified text is where the text goes all the way to both sides, right? Remember, I have a column here, right? And you'll notice this is, the term for this is called, the way this text is right here is called left align, ragged right. What does that mean? Well, ragged means it's not even on the right side, right? But it's even on the left side. Okay, so this text is left align, ragged right. Oh, here's the hyphenation. If you want, you can have text go all the way on both sides, and we refer to that as hyphenation. It's right here, or justified. That's what I meant, justified. If I click on there, you'll notice it's on both sides now. I don't kind of like that in the MLA format. I don't know what are the requirements for that, but one of the problems you run into is it's a little harder to read that. Because you start getting big gutters or big, areas in there. This one's not too bad, but if you have a really long line that goes all the way to the edge, sometimes you get really big spaces in the middle. So newspapers are like that; those are justified. But see, one of the downfalls again of this is that it's not as easy to read. I think the ragged right, flush left is easier it's just visually in my brain, I think I don't see it as well. Also, you have your line spacing here. We already talked about that. Again, we got our 2.0 right there. Let's go back to tools, smart lookup. I don't know what that is. To bring you relevant information, we send data to Bing that includes your highlighted term and some surrounding content. I guess we could look up stuff. Well, let's highlight this and see if we can we look that up? We're going to look it up on Bing. Known. It doesn't make any sense. Really? Define? I guess that didn't make very much sense. That was under what? Smart lookup. Language. Of course, we can change it to a different language if we want. Let's see if that works. Nope. I guess we have to collect all the work. Can we change to different languages? What was that language? Catalan. That didn't change to Catalan, did it? This is definitely not Catalan. Okay, let's not worry about that. Word count, we already know that. You can do that if you want, or down here, if you look down here, right? Tells you word count. So when your teacher tells you, you got to type 800 word essay, you can see it at the bottom right there automatically. So that's under word count. Autocorrect. I don't know what this does. I guess it fixes any errors that you might have. Capitalized letters. Names. I don't know. I don't know. Autocorrect. Accessibility we haven't really got into. That's making sure that your document follows certain formatting so that people that cannot read it, the screen reader will read it properly to them. Right? There's programs out there called screen readers that actually read the document to people. Under here you can add special codes to make sure that it does it properly. That was under accessibility. Uh-oh, going nuts here. Where are we at? Access change track changes. Highlight changes, compare. This is if you're sharing documents where you can highlight and do that. We didn't really go over that as well. Protect document. We can go and give it a password so somebody cannot open it without the password, right? Especially if you're sharing legal things over the internet.
So is it that the same with the
Encryption? I don't know if this encrypts. I think it just puts a password that they have to open. It's not really encrypted. You would have to use an encryption software to encrypt it. I don't think this is really using encryption. This is just a password to open a document. That was under Tools, Protect Document. I'll show you some software that you can use to encrypt things later on. I don't know what envelopes or labels are. Macros is where you can program certain features to go do it over and over again. Templates, customized keyboard. I haven't really choose that or used that. That was under Tools. Okay, let's talk about our hyperlinks. Okay, so I can highlight some text and say if somebody wants to go to this term here, let's put in flowering plants. So let's say you want to put a hyperlink on flowering plants and send them to Wikipedia for their, whatever. So again, you can go under Insert Hyperlink right here, and in the hyperlink, it will actually ask you for an address. That address is a web address. If you're going to go to a website, usually you start with a HTTP. I don't know why it has a select. What is it select going to? I'm not really sure what. I guess you're linking to another document here. Link to an existing file or web page. But if we're going to go to Wikipedia, you would start with HTTP : what's HTTP stand for? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That one might be on the test as well. And then we got www.wik right? Also, they have a link to an email address. Did you see that? But this is a web page or file. You can also link to a different location within the document as well. But again, this is under hyperlink. If I hit OK, you'll notice it gives me a blue underline, which is the normal hyperlink, right? You're used to that. It's been blue underlined for the past 20 years. Notice when I roll my cursor over it, it turns into a hand. If I click on it, it will open up a browser and go to the page. Of course, it depends on the default browser that you have on your computer. It opened up Safari automatically here because Safari is a Mac program and then we're on a Mac computer. But if you're on like Windows, it would probably do Edge or some other thing like that, right? Whatever the default is on Windows. Okay, so that's a hyperlink. That was under Insert. They do have options for movies. You want to put a video in your document. Movie from file, movie browser. Okay, so we got pictures. We already saw that. If you remember, let's start at the top. We'll just go through some of these so that you know what they are. Okay, so if I want to insert a picture, I can go and we can download a photo. Save image as. Let's put our photo on our desktop. Then, of course, you can bring in a photo, and I'm going to put it in this column. How do I get to this column over here? I wanted to put it in the column there. I have to go all the way to the end to get the cursor up to the next column. Wonderful. Okay, whatever. Welcome to Word. So if I insert my picture here, I can say photo browser or picture from file. So photo browser brings up the Microsoft kind of thing. Oh no, this brings up the thing. There used to be a way for online pictures. I don't know why they don't. Oh, this is not the Windows version. Picture from file. It allows me to bring in from my desktop. Once your picture is in there, you can resize it. One of the things you might want to do is you can change your picture. If you select a picture, you'll notice you have different options up here for different artistic abilities and different frames. We did talk about word wrapping, remember that? You can crop your picture, you can align it and so on. You can format it, you can position it, and all these options here. One of the ones that I used in here in the past was to recompress your picture. I don't know where that's at here. But sometimes you can recompress the picture. That way it's smaller. Because if you bring in something that's really big and you start adding a bunch of photos to your document, the document gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And instead of using such a big photo, you can recompress it to a smaller version. And I can't remember where that is. Yeah, but that doesn't change the actual physical megabytes of it. That's what I'm saying is there's a way to recompress it, at least in other programs. Maybe it's this one right here. What is this? A compressed picture? Yeah, it is that. This is icon right here. So if you click on that, it'll recompress it into a smaller version. That way you can make your file size smaller. Because right, you got what, a 20 megabyte limit to upload something on an email, right? Some emails they limit you to 20 megabytes, right? So you make a document that has a bunch of pictures in it. It's going to be maybe larger than 20 megabytes. One way to make it smaller is to take your pictures and recompress them into a smaller version of that picture, and it'll make your file size smaller, right? You have a 10 megabyte limit to send to your professor on Canvas, right? If you don't know that, you do. This could be a way to make your file small enough that it fits within the limit for you to send to your teacher. Remember, a lot of schools use Canvas, so you guys should get used to it, right? You're going to transfer to UC something. UCs use Canvas. I don't know what San Jose State uses. Anybody know what San Jose State uses for their online classes or classes? I know UCs use Canvas. I don't know. So again, this might be useful, so don't forget about recompressing your image. They do have the ability to change colors as well, brightness, contrast, and so on. It's not very good. I would probably use another program to do that. I don't know what some of these are here, and so on. Okay, hyperlink, images, insert picture that was there. Shapes is the same. You can insert basic shapes if you're working and you want to build a basic shape. You got a rounded rectangle and so on, like that. So you have basic shapes you can build.
So, when we compress the picture and when we print it out, the quality of the picture will be different from a normal one.
If you recompress it, the quality will be different, yes.
It's not clear like the normal one.
It just depends on how you recompress it, yes. Another great feature inside of Word, if you're doing a scientific thing or trying to make yourself, think about it, right? You're in the they don't call it PE anymore. What's it, kinesiology or whatever it's called? The PE stuff, right? Don't they have like classes on nutrition over there, right? And you wanted kinesiology, yeah, something like that. And you wanted to do maybe the food pyramid or whatever kind of thing like that, and you want to put it in your paper. Well, they have basic shapes, basic chart kind of things here. They're located here underneath the insert option. They call them Smart Art, and they do have charts as well, but they do have Smart Art, which would be like a process, right? Or a cycle. Maybe this is maybe you're writing a paper for your biology class, and you got to do the cell biology, the cell life cycle, right? You can go here to where it says cycle here. It'll give you a option. You can see your little boxes that go around like that. You can type your text in. You can move the boxes around as well and adjust them and so on. So, you can make it bigger. You can change the colors as well. You got here. You can change the colors here if you want. And so when you're writing your paper for your biology class, this would be a great way to sort of give your concept of how, I don't know, I'm thinking cell life cycle or something like that. Again, there's a whole bunch of them in here. They're all underneath. And then again, you can type the words right here. What are we doing here? We're doing cell. And you see the word shows up in there, cell. Oh, I just hit return and it subbed it. I'm sure you can figure it out. My whole point is that there is options to do that. They call them small. Oh, here's the food pyramid right there. You got to do the food pyramid. Let me get rid of this thing. Let's do a food pyramid. That was underneath insert Smart Art pyramid. There it is, food pyramid. So what's at the top? Cookies, right? I spelled cookie. C-O-O-K-I-E-S. Cookies. And then what's our second favorite food? Pizza. And our least favorite food? Fruit. Okay, see the food pyramid. And then you can add another one if you want, and then another one, so you can add more. What else is in my food pyramid? Burger. And then the last one, the biggest one, bread. I don't know. Everything has a B here. Okay, so again, these are here. You can change the colors as well. There we go. Look at that. What a great food pyramid. Okay, again, all these they're called smart objects. They're under insert smart art. I'm sorry, smart art. Smart art. Okay, these are ones that are great for, describing things like processes, relationships, hierarchy. Just go through them and learn what they do. They may be useful for you in the future. I know we don't have biology class here, but I'm sure you'll be in Anybody in biology class right now? No. Your cursor needs to be inside. It needs to have the ability to insert something. Then of course we have charts. We will do charts later in our Excel. So we don't need to go over that right now. We already talked about table. You can insert an audio file. If you insert an audio file, let's get to a new place here. So if you want to insert an audio file, probably the easiest way to do that is to have it on your computer. So if I had, let's download, didn't I download some music on here already? No. Oh yeah, here Kansas. Oh, that's here Annabelle Lee. Remember our Annabelle Lee when we were doing archive.org? Remember that here. Don't you remember that? It's an MP3. We did this from archive.org.
I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love.
Remember, Edgar Allan Poe was from what city? Baltimore, yes. He lived by the sea. His wife, she died of what, tuberculosis? If you haven't seen The Telltale Heart, I kind of recommend the version from the 70s. Black and white version from the 70s. Here, I have it on my website somewhere. Hold on. Where is it? The one from this one right here. It's like the third or fourth one right here. Best version, yes. I like that one. That's the one. In fact, I used to go fishing in Pennsylvania where Edgar Allan Poe would go in holidays sometimes, and it was called the Poe Valley. And I would go fishing right by a cottage called the Raven. Okay, let's continue with our word. Oh, you want to take a break? We can take a break for a minute if you want. Let's take a break for a minute. Here we go. So again, you can put audio in. So again, the easiest way to put audio into your Word document is it has to be a linked file. So if you go underneath Insert, you'll see there is an audio option. If you go Audio from File, you can go and find your audio if it's on your computer here. Here's my Annabelle Lee, and insert it. What it gives you is just basically this little icon right here. See it? It gives you an icon, and then in that icon you can either have it when the person clicks on it or something like that. I'm not really sure why it's not giving me an option to play it. I know in PowerPoint it gives you a little option to play it. Same with the video. So I'm not really sure. Then there's add-ons, hyperlink, we already did that. Bookmark, cross-reference. What do we got? Page break, footnotes, captions, index tables, watermark, page numbers, text box, auto text box, date and time, object, field, file, field, equation, advanced symbols. Whoosh. Well, let's say you're doing let's go from top to bottom to the top. Let's say you're doing your scientific paper, right? And some of your scientific papers, you need those crazy symbols. I don't know, math symbols and things like that. You can bring up the advanced symbols, and it brings up the glyphs. These are sometimes referred to as glyphs right here. And these are symbols that are not normal, like the copyright symbol, the R symbol, TM for trademark. Certain languages have certain, characters in them as well. So you can put those in, especially if you know which commands to put them in, right? They do have commands for them. So that was under special symbols. To do them, I think you just double click on them, right? And it puts it in there. So those are special characters. Those under advanced symbols. And then they have equations. You can type an equation here. Not sure how to actually do all that right there. And then underneath there, you got objects, date and time. We already looked at that, right? That'll do it. It'll put the date and time, and every time you save it, it'll put the latest date in there, right? Auto text field. So if you want a text box, and we haven't really looked at that, but there is a way to draw a box of text inside here. So if you go under insert inside there, there is a way to draw a text box right here. See it? The text box is nice. You can think of the text box as being text that you can put anywhere in your page, and you can put it above things. Let's say you put a picture in there, right? Remember we have our picture of our flower here, right? Here's our flower. And you want to put text over top of that describing what this is. How would you do that? Well, you could do it using what's called the text box right here. So if you draw a text box, and you just go right here, draw a text box, you can draw it over top of your flowers, and you can put in some information. These are flowers. And notice how it can be over top. You can have it clear, you can give it a color if you want. You can change the format of the text. You can give it some word art. This is sometimes referred to as word art. Oh, these crazy artistic text in there. But the nice thing about a text box is you can put it almost anywhere. If you click on it, you see you can drag it anywhere. You can rotate it as well. You can put it upside down. Again, it's called a text box. It's under Insert, Text Box, where you can make a box of text and put it anywhere. Remember, there are layers to the text box. Everybody got that? Layers to text box. It's a very useful feature. One of the downfalls, I think, is it messes with the word wrapping. Remember the text wrapping around an object? I don't think it wraps around this text as much. But very useful. Word art is where you can do crazy art. So you put your text in there, and it'll do special characters with drop shadows and things like that. That was under Insert. Again, header and footer, we already looked at that. Page numbers. You could put a comment in there if you want. Again, this would be good if you are sharing documents with other people. This is bad text. Again, it was under comment right here. So if you're sharing this with people, you can share and make a comment. Notice how it's outside of the visible area. It won't print there, I don't think. That was under comment. We did talk about links already. You can link inside a document as well as outside. Watermark is where you can add a kind of, and this usually you put a watermark on a draft when you're still, it's not a finalized document, right? It's a draft. So let's say I'm working on a watermark. I can add a watermark, and we can put text in there. Usually you either put confidential if it's something that you're still working on, or you have something like a draft, right? This is not the final version. We often do draft here, right? When you're working with collaborating with a group of people, right? And it's not the final version, it's a draft version. So you put the word draft. It's called a watermark. Insert watermark. And you can see you can change the color. You can actually rotate it as well. I don't know why it's not asking me to rotate, but you can. I've seen it rotated before, a draft. But you can see it here, right? It's in the back, and it's on every page. It's called a watermark. It's a way of collaborating. And so when you're done with your document and it's, something that you're going to make law, you can then turn off the watermark, right? Again, it's under watermark. Where did I find that? It was under, where was it? It was under watermark. 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 I don't know where I found that. It was under Insert, Watermark. That's where I was. Again, it's called a watermark. When you're done, you can turn it off. Again, it's for usually draft or confidential, right? So it's kind of puts a little document there. That was under Insert, Watermark. Okay, let's talk about bulleting items because we've done that before. So as we bullet items, you can sub-bullet if that makes any sense. Where let's say you're making a list of food that I like, and then you want to have sub to that. So you would listen food that I like, and then we could do a list under home. You have your bullets up here. You could have a list, right? So food I like is pizza. What else? What else do you like to eat? Tofu. 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 How do you spell tofu? Tofu. Who likes tofu? You guys don't eat tofu? Whoosh. Whoosh. Tofu's great. Beans. Eggs. Okay, so let's put a sub to that. So let's say we like eggs, but we want to have egg salad, egg sandwich, whatever. Sandwich de huevo, right? So how would I do a sub to this? Because every time I hit return, it goes and gives me a new number. I don't want that. I want a sub to that. So this would be a sub to that. You'll notice over here, they have a way to put different types of, oops, that's not what I want. How did I do that? It's tab, I believe. Is it tab? Tab on the keyboard. Sorry, tab on the keyboard. I don't know what option to choose here. But I hit tab on the keyboard, so we want eggs, salad. It didn't work for you? Here, I'll do it again. Okay, so here. I hit return after eggs, and then I hit tab on the keyboard, and it gives me an A. So you can do subs with tab. It didn't work on yours?
Not working. I don't know. Start at bean. Go to bean. Bean. Hit return. Well, you're not getting a number though. You don't have a number. You need to put a. You gotta do numbers. You have to go to home. And we're doing numbers. Type in, hit return, you get a 2.
Okay. So again, I'm in this list right here. See it right here? I'm in the list. And then I hit tab. I don't remember. You can change this somehow. I know it. Oh, we can go to more. How about this? We got an I. No, I like the letters. There we go. So we have, what do we like? Egg salad. S-A-L-D-A. How do you spell salad? Salad. Salad. Okay, what else? Egg sandwich. Sandwich. Is it sandwich? What else? What other eggs you like? Crepes? Crepes? Crepes. Crepes. C-R-A-P-E-S? Crepes. Crepes? No. I spell crepes. With 2 S? Creeps? Creeps. A-P-E-S? Crepes? Like grapes? Crepes? Okay, you get the idea. You can do numbered lists. Now, if you hit return twice, it'll go back to the thing. See how it went back? See how it went back? Okay. So, and then you can start again. Fish. And then hit tab. You could do that. And you can do salmon, trout, whatever fish you like. Salmon, whatever fish you like. Walleye. Who likes a walleye? Walleye, 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 walleye. Wally? Wally? Walleye. No, two L's. The two E's. Wally? Wally? Walleye. And then hit return again. So you get the idea how you can do, and you can even do more. If you like walleye and you want to do another one, you hit tab again. And what kind of walleye you like? Perch. 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 What's in there? Pike. I don't know. What's another one? Whitefish. These are all from the north. These are like cold, cold, cold fish. I hit tab again. Yes, and the tab keeps going over and over and over and over. Yes. Oh, you can change that to whatever one you want. I'm just going I, 2 I's, 3 I's. See that number this? But I could change it to A, B's as well. That's under the pull down menu here. Or I could put numbers in there. They're under the option here for this. And then, of course, we can color our stuff if we want. Highlight it all. Oosh, I don't like that color. There we go. Beans. There we go. Sandwich. Okay, so you can color your whole lines there. Notice how they go all the way across. Very nice like that. Some of you were asking me about this option again. This is the paragraph option right here. You can turn it on and off right there. See that? So if you have the dots, somebody emailed me, was that you about the dots? That's how you turn it off. It's this option right here. You can turn off your dots. See that right here? This will turn off your dots between you. It looks messy with the dots, yes. You can turn it off right there. It's just showing you the spaces, right? Yes. Okay, we're almost done. I know it's been a long day about Word and you're sick of Word. Remember, we're going to do Excel next class. You're done with Word. We start Excel next class and a test. Excel and quiz. So, no more Word. Hopefully you learned everything you needed to learn about Word. There's a whole Word class, I think, somewhere. There's an Excel class in the business. Want to learn more Excel. Okay, let's talk about last thing in Word is we're going to talk about templates. Templates are a way that are pre-made pieces. If you notice, you got new from template. If I go under File, New, it gives me this option. You've probably seen this before. Mostly we just use blank document, right? Well, in this case, you can actually choose from a template here. And there's a variety of templates that they have built in here. Most of these templates use a certain formatting. As you can see, it has something called heading and subheads and so on. So if you choose, let's say, a business paper here like this and say create, what it's going to do is it's going to give you an option. One of the options that it chooses is a certain template, and that's what is underneath design here. If you look under design, you'll see there's different options here, right here. And what they are is they're pre-made formatting of fonts, font sizes, and so on. So you're not limited to this, but you'll see it has a heading 1, heading 2, and then it has a quote. These are like pre-made templates that you can use to format your document. You can change that. You're not limited by what you see there. If I go again to design, I can choose another design. You can see it right there. You can choose a design. You can make your own design, and you can save your design as well. Under themes right here, save current theme right here. You can make your own theme. You can browse themes if you want. Right here, browse themes, and it'll go to there. You can download themes off the internet. And so there's a whole bunch of pre-made themes already for you, just depending upon there. So how do I use one of these themes? Well, you can do it by either, you can either delete all this stuff that's here. Let's delete all that. Okay, so if I'm using the theme now, you just don't notice it. So let's try and type in our heading. So I'm going to put my name in there. And it doesn't look like it's using the theme. Well, the reason why is I told the text not to have that theme yet. If I hit return, I just want to make a new paragraph break. If I click inside here, I can then go to the home, and inside there, you'll notice there is the options are over here, right here. And so if I wanted my name to have, again, I clicked inside my name there, and I wanted to have the heading 1 format, I click, again, I'm under home, right there, and boom, it takes it. So what I'm trying to say is this design that you see here, these themes that you see here, you choose one, but how do you format your paper to have that theme is when you're typing. Again, I already clicked below. I have some new text. This is some new text. And I hit return. This is subtitle. And maybe my subtitle has the second one. So again, under home, I have a heading 2 right here. Do you see it right here? Boom, I click on there and it takes on the format. So this theme that you see here under design then takes on these characteristics. Then you can change these at any time as well. You can change them at any time as well. So right now I'm using this theme, but let's just say I got, this is my subtitle, right? And this is my title, or heading 1. This is my heading 2. I like to use the word title and subtitle because that's basically what it is, right? And then you'll see my font is there, and if I hit return, I can type some more text, blah, 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 text, blah, 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 text. And then you're going along and you're saying, I love this theme, but it's just not quite right. Well, what you can do is you can go back to your design, see this option right here, and then I can choose a new theme. I can click on it, and boom, all the text has been changed, right? All the text has been changed, and so this new heading 1 has a new heading 1. This new subtitle has a new subtitle. You can also go and change the colors as well. They have themes here. You can see them. You want a nice greenish yellow theme? Look at that. And everything is automatically adjusting. Why is everything automatically adjusting? Is because when you're inserting things, you're inserting these things over here. Do you see them? You got text emphasis and so on. You got title right there, right? And so on. You got subtitle. You got headings. You got heading, no space. Again, by using these, and then you even have bullets if you want. By using these themes here, you can really quickly go to design and just choose a new design. I don't like any of these. Let's see, there's a whole bunch of them here. Let's go with this one again. I kind of like that one, but I don't like this color. I don't like the green. Okay, so we can go over here and we can go and change the whole theme right there. Boom. Okay. So again, a very useful way of quickly adjusting your document to meet the needs of the option. Same with a font. You can change that kind of universal. You'll notice that's why they have more than one font in there. You know, you can do multiple fonts in here. I like Trebuchet. Got the whole font, and then they got spacing. You can set as default. You got watermark, page color. You got a border for your paper if you want. If you want your paper to have a border, you can have a border if you want. A little dotted line all the way around. There it is. Again, it was under border. So all these were under design. You have a theme. That's what this is, and so on. So, we got themes. Let's make sure I went over everything. We know everything on this. Which one? The columns? Yes. Which one? Under layout, columns? Yes. Under layout is where columns are. And you can choose 2 columns if you want. Notice how it split this page up into 2 columns. So again, went over margins, orientation, size, columns, break is a new page break, line numbers, hyphenation. We went over that. You should know all that. Reference, we didn't go over most of this, but you can add text if you want. Table of contents will give you a list. It's not very useful here right now. footnotes, endnotes, smart insert citation. Mailing is, we didn't really go over because we don't have an account. If you have an account with Microsoft Word, you can log in and you can send things back and forth through the mail, right? That's why it's mailing here. But you have to have your Outlook account, right? Microsoft Outlook or whatever it is. Then you have review. We went over most of this already. And then you have view. And I guess that's about it. How about we just start Excel next class? Okay? No stress. Okay, I recorded what